preamble.
My preamble for you is that I was on a road trip recently driving to Southern California, and I had the lovely experience of running into a Tesla driver, not with my car. It was more of they were trying to run into me with their car, but they pulled into a fucking gas station parking lot, and I parked my vehicle. And as they're supposed to be backing up into their spot, so I walked in front of their car because I'm like, you are reversing into your spot. You are not going to be driving at me. So I passed by in front of their car, and they're at like the dumbest, shittiest fucking angle for parking. And they're driving a Cybertruck. And then the second I start walking in front of them, they start pulling forward until the car auto stops. And then they looked at me like it was my fault that all of this was happening to them. And I was like, all right, well, you're fucking dumb. So then I went and I like took a picture of beautiful scenery because I was in the Sierra Nevadas, and it was like gorgeous mountains with sunshine coming through this massive storm cloud. And it was beautiful. And there was accidentally the angle I was at an American flag in it. And I was like, this was very unintentionally the most patriotic photo I've taken in a long time, maybe ever. And then as I go to pass back to the gas station from taking my scenic photo, the Tesla, probably 60 seconds later, still struggling to park, still theoretically reversing into their spot. So I pass back, not directly in front, but like, adjacent to the vehicle. Once again, they pull forward until their car forces them to stop and then look at me like I have wronged them. I was like, you are
Well,
the dumbest motherfuckers.
I mean, that's the biggest problem with Cybertruck drivers is that like you meet one, you met them all. Like they all seem to, they all seem to think that it's all about them, and like therefore like anybody in a Cybertruck would think that anybody who looks at them, they're like, oh, wow, they're looking at me because I'm in a Cybertruck, and it's like you have got to chill.
My
Nobody cares about your dumb car. It looks stupid.
My thing is the amount of times that I've experienced a bad driver in a self-driving car. I'm like, well, this is why you bought a self-driving car, because you're fucking incompetent.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
And
sense.
you should just let the car park for you, because I don't know who taught you to park or how much Ambien you're taking today, but you need to not be behind the wheel.
Yeah. I mean, also, I don't really have any good preamble. Just like Netflix is imploding, I guess. A politician died, and another politician almost died but didn't. So,
And another politician
do with
somewhere
that.
on Earth was born.
Yeah, do with that what you will.
What's happening to
Uh,
Netflix?
I mean, Netflix. Okay, so Netflix viewership is declining. Big surprise. Because
Shocker. Weirdly enough, you guys stopped making it convenient to stream things.
Rachel and I were already talking about bad business practices and how out of touch a lot of CEOs are. And they're like, well, they make short term emotional decisions hoping to get that bottom dollar up. And that's not how you do it. You create a foundation and you build up from there. And then you hit a point where maybe growth starts to plateau. And then you cash in. You're fine. You don't need growth is not an infinite thing. So anyway, so Netflix viewership is declining after a lot of bad decisions that we've talked about for like years now. But they're looking into doing live channels and then streaming bundles.
Oh god.
They're getting Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link to like put their show on Netflix.
Didn't that happen already? Or am I
Not that
crazy?
I know of. I don't know. I don't really look at Netflix, but like, it's definitely like a sign of we're going back to cable.
Yeah.
We wrap back around to cable. Disney Plus is considering a free option that comes with ads. Get into pirate ships, boys and girls. It's very easy.
It's time
They
to hit
can't
the high
sue
seas.
everybody.
Yeah. Well, and they're not gonna fucking spend the time.
So it is a different climate now, and I do recommend getting a VPN, maybe a peer block, but like definitely for sure, if everybody just does it, maybe they'll fucking get the hint and come back around to going, oh wait, people stopped pirating because we made it easy for them not to and affordable, huh?
Yeah. Weird how that was a really good business model and then you fucked it up by being greedy. Strange.
All right, you ready to get into this episode?
Yeah, let's fucking rock. Let's fucking roll.
Okay, we could do
Is it your
this.
deep breath?
Yeah, I mean, I held my breath and then I let it out, and I'm
Yeah.
like trying to center myself, and it doesn't work.
You ever do
All
box
right, you got
breathing?
what?
You ever do box breathing?
Box breathing.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing with like the symbols where like,
I've never done it with
I actually don't know
symbols.
what you're.
It's
I don't actually don't know what you're talking about. I'm thinking of one thing. It might not be that.
it's a type of breathing where you breathe in for you can pick however many seconds. Like I do 4, but when I breathe out, I'm not actually like counting to the same number of 4. So I'll do like you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds. When I breathe out, I just very, very slowly count 4. And then
Yeah.
you hold it again for 4 seconds, and then you just keep doing that on repeat. And I think it's something like once you've done it
That,
6 times, it helps take your brain out of the like instinctual emotional response and puts your like logical calm brain back online. So it's supposed to help when you're feeling out of sorts.
is that supposed to be the? Isn't that the default? I didn't know it had a name. Box breathing. Who fucking named that?
I don't know. I think it's called multiple things, but I have heard it called box breathing. Welcome to We Have That Podcast at Home, the only podcast where one of your hosts is basically just a patchwork quilt of references to other shows. I'm on brand Rachel.
And I'm on brand Gamage, and I'm not sure which one I am, but each week we spin a wheel to figure out next week's podcast. Lately, we've just been sticking in the Bayformers universe. We've reached Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon for this episode. And before we begin, obviously, this is not a good movie. It persists a
What?
messy plot with conflicting lore. Say what you will about Marvel movies, but there's usually like a bigger picture in mind, and one movie doesn't vastly undermine others in story. That said, I kind of like this one.
Really?
I kind of like it's bad. It's bad. I said that. You can't say I didn't. It's not a good movie. It's bad. But I had fun here in this movie when I didn't in any of the others so far.
I think part of my issue is I've seen this particular Transformers so many times because I think when I was in high school, a friend of mine and I shared like an Apple iTunes account, and he bought this particular Transformers movies, so we would just watch it constantly because we didn't have fucking anything else.
That makes
Um
sense.
and so there was a point in my life where I think I really enjoyed this film, and it's not now. I think I used up
Sure.
all of my enjoyment and it's gone
No,
because
no, I get that.
I didn't hate this movie, but I was like, please God, can this be over?
No, I know what you mean. Like, I feel like objectively, that Tim Burton movie, Big Fish, is it called Big Fish? I think objectively that's a good movie, but I think after the one time I saw it, I'm like, I'm over it. This movie sucks.
And I'm good.
Fun fact, it was my father's favorite movie ever, and my father is a crazy big liar. I think he's self-inserted. I don't know what he was doing, but the movie sucked and he sucked.
He was like, I actually
Anyway,
really
so-
identify with one of the main characters here.
Yeah, yeah. So again, this movie is far from perfect, but it felt like the kind of stupid you could turn your brain off and enjoy, unlike the previous ones. Like again, you've seen it so many times, but like if you had to like look, if you had to pick one of the first 3 movies that we've watched so far to watch again, which would you pick?
You're gonna hate me for this. I weirdly liked the second
Don't say
one
the
so
second.
far.
Fuck
I know.
you.
I know. I think
You're
to be
such a
fair,
bitch.
I know. To be fair, I do agree with your statement that this one is the easiest one to just turn your brain off and just watch. And it is the least Fast and the Furious fucking movie of all of them.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
And I thought that was a plus.
Yeah, I mean, this one is different than the other 2 in that it didn't have like a whole bunch of story and screenwriters. It had what's his name, Eric Kruger, who did write for the first 2 movies as well. But now we don't have like a too many cooks situation. Like it was just him in the office making this movie. So again, each movie in a vacuum, I think this one works better than the other ones.
I would agree with that. I think in a vacuum, this one is, if you completely were to ignore the first two films, I think this one's probably, like, it can stand on its own the most. It's also the least Go Army ad of all of them,
I agree. Yeah.
which I think helps.
I also think that in outside of the vacuum, all three movies next to each other, I still think the second is the worst. I think I think it pisses on the story more than any of the other movies.
I think I like the second one because the parents are more involved, and they're, I think, objectively my more favorite characters.
Did you feel that way growing up, or is that like a recent? You're an adult, so you resonate with the weird adults now, like your mortality is a call-in.
I noticed them when I watched as a kid.
That
And
makes
I don't
sense.
necessarily directly relate to them because I'm not like a middle-aged person with an 18-year-old child who
You
owns
absolutely are.
a robot car. But I just think they're so campy, and I think that's sort of needed in this universe. And they're
I want to agree, but I also feel like that they were too campy for the kind of movie that number two is selling.
I get what you mean. I think my secondary point here is I also think they have some of the best acting in this film. Like, I don't think they're very well written, but
I do think that they're older and more seasoned actors.
yeah. I'm like, of the garbage, you guys are the least garbage, and I think that's why I like them. And they're just fucking ridiculous.
I will remember that. So, getting into the budget for this movie was $195 million, which
Did
I
that go
think
down?
sits. I think it went down from the second, but
Because the second one was like
it's also
205 to 210, wasn't it?
yeah. But well, the first one is 145 to 200 million. We're not sure. They're not sure either. So
Nobody knows.
so it could be up from the first or down from the first. I'm not
Who's to say?
sure, but it's definitely down from the second. Box office of this movie is $1.124 billion with
Are
a
you
B.
fucking
So
kidding?
it's, yeah, I'm not kidding. So it's definitely the most, I think, so far.
This movie objectively had the biggest CGI problems also, and I'm shocked that if you're projected to, keep making a fuck ton of money off of a series, that you wouldn't have invested a little bit more.
I mean, yeah, I hate these movies, but like they're clearly getting asses in seats, and like it's clearly like maybe Michael Bay realizes that they suck, but he's like, well, don't fix what ain't broke, and he just keeps doing it. But like I can't fault that kind of logic of like, well, it's working. It's work. It made $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's contrite and people hate it and we're getting shit reviews, but it made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Where's the argument? There's none.
Do you have any casting notes?
I mean, I do have some casting comments I want to make later.
Okay.
After we get through the summary. Like there's a lot more post summary that I want to talk about than I think the last movie. So
Yeah, I think so too. I think for both of us.
So why don't you either give me your summary or just read the summary I did for you?
I'll read the summary again. This movie is probably, of the three films, the most like a stage play in its garish dramaticism with some of the ways that it delivers lines. I think the second one did this a little bit, where it has some just like really cheesy one-liners, but good lord.
I also think the choreography of the second one was like so bad. Like I said, every time there's like a fight or like a thing, it feels like too clean. Like you could see the person programming the scene and like
where it's
spending
just like
months.
You're not actually taking the hit, you are pretending to take the hit.
Or I was more saying like it's like a full on, I don't know, it's like a full on scene. Like it doesn't feel real. Mind you, it's not real in any shape or form or way, but like the second one and the first one just have like these kind of scenes where it was just kind of like meh, except for the big Optimus fight in the second one. But I mean, like again, I hate Jetfire in these movies, but the Jetfire fight in the second one was just so like, every time he was like doing things, it just felt like just weird, like uncanny, but cheap and bad. I don't know. Well, you talk, please.
Okay.
Talk now.
Um, as we said before, this one shits on the consistency of the first two films pretty instantaneously. So 3 years after the garbage second film, despite the fact that Optimus in the first 5 minutes says, "in a year since our arrival," which doesn't really add up to the timeline we're working with here, the Autobots assist the world in fighting off the Decepticon threat in famous places like, quote, Middle East illegal nuclear site. Meanwhile, Sam struggles to get a half-decent job as a millennial college graduate. Michaela dumped him, but whatever. He's now dating a, quote, conventionally photogenic woman while getting cucked by McDreamy, who's very relevant to this particular era and not so much now. He's still kind of doing things, I guess. Memory of a Killer was pretty good for Gamage. I don't know what that is, but I just don't see Patrick Dempsey as a grizzled mobster hitman. I don't either, and I think he did an okay job, but meh.
Well, I was talking about the show Memory of a Killer. It's I haven't finished it. We're fucking derailing this already. Memory of a Killer is about McDreamy. Patrick Dempsey is like a mobster hitman who's like hiding his secret life with like a wife and kids and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like he's getting Alzheimer's. Like that's kind of the hook. And like the lines are getting blurred and it's kind of good, but like every time McDreamy comes out, he's just like trying to like sound like a mobster hitman. I'm just like, bro, fuck.
You're like, it doesn't work for you. Well, honestly,
he's a great actor, but like, man, it's not where I'm not sold.
I think he did an okay job as the rich antagonist, but it's also like he doesn't necessarily play bad guy super well. Anyway, the Autobots learn that the government lied about the moon landing. Yeah, it's one of those things. And an old Autobot ship, the Ark, it's also one of those things. Crash landed however many fucking years ago. Optimus opts, Gamage thought that was funny, to retrieve and revive Sentinel Prime from the Ark, who has the pillars that can teleport through space. After a kind of dope highway battle, we learn that Sentinel Prime made a deal with Megatron to save Cybertron so many years ago. Megatron is like an onion of secret plans and alliances, and the layers just keep undermining the individual plots of each movie. Sentinel Prime tells all of humanity that they'll destroy the Earth unless the Autobots leave, so the government is like, fucking get out of here. And the Autobots fake leaving, knowing that the Decepticons are gonna blow up their ship, because of course they will. The government was seriously like, I can't believe we were deceived by the Decepticons. It's almost like if we had dissected the name and the Greek origins, we perhaps could have seen this coming.
Why do the Transformers have Latin roots anyway? What's up with that?
It's a good fucking question. So Sentinel Prime and Megatron attack with plans to teleport Cybertron to Earth. We get a big city battle that is easy to glaze over despite being, I think, literally almost half the film. This one's kind of cool, except for the falling building scene. That one's stupid, and I think it defies the laws of physics in a lot of different ways. Megatron turns on Sentinel Prime because he hates being cucked, and also he's a Decepticon, and that's what they do. Again, dissect the Greek origins of the name. Optimus absolutely kills Megatron for definitely the last time before straight up executing Sentinel Prime. In like cold blood, Sam finds McDreamy that cucked him earlier and kills him too. That was a fun one. He killed him by hitting him with a street pole that still had concrete on it, which I imagine would be really fucking heavy.
I forgot in my original notes, because like I'll write notes as I'm like watching it, and then like I'll either incorporate them into what I want to talk about or just erase them. Yeah. And I erased one, but like there was one where Sam's kind of on the ground and McDreamy, I don't even know his name in the movie, but Patrick Dempsey's character like pushes a stone pillar on him, and I'm like, Sam's dead. He's dead. That's a fucking ton.
He jumped over the stone pillar. Also, this movie
I'll take your word for it. You've seen it more times than I have, I guess.
This movie easily is, like, doesn't do a good job of the whole, the person you're looking at isn't actually the actor, because the entire city scene, it is so obviously not Shia LaBeouf. I'm like, are we watching a fucking sitcom from the 90s? Like, this is so bad.
Yes.
Horrible.
Anyway, so let's get into the actual bits that we want to talk about, because like, hey, you made it 20 minutes into this episode,
Proud
but
of you.
like, I mean, the summary took like 5 minutes, maybe less, and that's the movie, man. So first off, did you watch this movie as a kid? I mean, it sounds like you did. You were a teenager. It counts.
Yeah. No, I did, in fact. I do count that as being a kid. How about you?
I did not. I mean, it's weird if I watched this one as a kid, but not the other ones, because I was an adult. Like, fucking some weird temporal fluctuation happening there. So
Yeah,
the main
fair.
theme, and I mean,
I do have a question for you, because as I was watching this one, I had a curiosity, because we've compared the lore of the previous ones a lot. How much does this one shit on the original lore of Transformers?
I mean, the other two already did enough shitting. Like, I feel like this one's just kind of the status quo. This one's like, I don't know, a shot in a better-ish direction, I guess. I mean, I have on here that I wanted to talk about the Matrix of Leadership, and I mean, I'll get there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't have this written down, I think, but like Sentinel Prime is also like he's like a lieutenant or something to Optimus Prime in the original. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. And he wasn't a bad guy, but he was antagonistic. Like, he's always like undermining Optimus because he's like, I should be the ruler of the Autobots. And like, Optimus doesn't know what he's doing. He's fucking everything up. And I'm the wise one. I know what's happening. So like, if you know that and you watch this movie, you're like, there's Sentinel Prime. He's going to be a dick.
He's gonna be an asshole.
He's going to be a dick. So, I'll get to the Matrix of Leadership thing down later, but like, as far as everything else, like, I don't. Okay, haven't seemed that egregious.
Was the weird Albert Einstein
guy?
Yeah. So is he in the original one? And also, I love that they made him fucking look like Albert Einstein, and then they called a different one Albert Einstein. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't think they're going for Albert Einstein, judging by the way he speaks. I think they were going for Doc Brown, which would be in the character design once we got there.
We'll circle back. I have further questions about him.
Oh, okay. So the main theme, I usually put down what I believe is the main theme, and I expect you to like add to it or correct me, but you don't, because I think you might agree.
100%
but
I agree.
I believe the main theme of this movie was don't get cucked. Try not to get cucked. That feels like
pretty much it. That's the takeaway.
I feel like Michael Bay just had like he woke up in the middle of the night is drenched in sweat from being cucked in his nightmare, and he's like, no, never again, and made a whole movie on that.
He woke up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat, still sitting in his cuck chair, and was like, no, I will not.
Because everyone gets cucked in this movie. Sam gets cucked. Optimus gets cucked. Megatron is cucked. Granted, they all murder their
guys kind of cucked.
What's the word for cuck makers?
What? Describe to me what you mean by this.
But there's the sad cuckold who's the cuck. He's the husband,
the cucky, if you will.
The hot wife, I think, is what it's called. The hot wife goes and gets with X. What is that? What is the person that makes the cuck?
The conquistador.
Conquistador.
Yeah, if it's like, if you were the cucky, they would have to be
Jesus
the cuckor or the conquistador.
All right, Rachel, you're allowed to take one thing off the prize shelf for that one. You earned it.
Thanks. I'd like the little army man with the parachute on his back.
No. That one's not for sale.
Fine.
You can't have that one.
Sticky hand. I want to slap windows with it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't add to the theme usually, because I think in previous episodes I've discussed this with you. It took me an extremely long time in school to understand what somebody was asking for when they asked for the theme, and now I'm just constantly scared that I'm going to get it wrong. So I don't write words down. I'll just kind of tell you how I feel when we get here, but I do not even remotely disagree with "Don't Get Cucked." That's 100% the theme of this, and I'm confident in that.
Everybody gets cucked. The bad guys get cucked. They cuck themselves. It's weird. I guess
Cucks
if
all
maybe you don't know what cuck is and you decided to start on this episode and haven't heard us talk about it before, a cuck is somebody who like who may or may not allow their significant other to sleep with other men, and they're like sad about it. Maybe sometimes look, it's a spectrum. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that because it's not my purview.
I'm not even.
It's
not
like
even worth
it's
it.
like poly, but different with other steps, and it's like there's shame to it, but that's part of it, and that's like fun. I don't know, man.
Some people just like to watch their hot wife get banged, and not by themselves.
Bull. It's a bull. It's a bull. It's called the. Well, sometimes it's called a bull.
Conquistador makes a lot of fucking sense.
Conquistador, I think that's the. I think that's it. I think we did it. Good job.
Done.
It's another Poplik train.
Yeah, another Poplik monster solved. We're good. We're done with the episode now. Bye.
Yeah. Next week we have. Okay, so let's get into character designs, including how they move and sound. It's always clunky and overcomplicated. But I will say some of the newer additions in this are pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. This is
like,
also, I think,
some of them are, and I'll get into that, but
the least complicated transforming we've seen, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So they're Sentinel Prime, and this is how you do an older, grizzled Transformer veteran. This could have been Jetfire, Rachel.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
It wasn't at all.
Best design in this movie, in my opinion, goes to Mirage. He's the red Ferrari with like fucking awesome blades on his arms. He uses them like Kratos, like he does like the chain thing.
Yeah, no,
his
he's
design
cool as
is
shit.
His design is much simpler too, and I attribute that to being in the fact that he has more paneling to show off the red, less mechanical mishmash. He also has an Italian accent because he's a Ferrari, which again is weird that the people of Cybertron seem to have racial caricatures. You know who doesn't have racist characters? Decepticons. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's fair.
But they also tend to have, they also have like cooler designs too.
Way
except
cooler.
for Mirage. But
they actually acknowledge that in this film. They're like, why do the Decepticons always get the cool stuff? And it's a great fucking question, Autobots. Why are you choosing to be cars when you could fucking, or people-ish humanoid shapes, when you could transform into a fucking bobcat thing? Be cooler.
Well, I think that was like kind of I don't think it was like the story, but I think that was kind of like part of the design choice in the original Transformers, where like the good guys are like cars and trucks and like ambulances and stuff, and then the bad guys were like jets and tanks and stuff, and or a gun. Megatron was just a gun. He was like a handgun.
He's just a handgun.
He was just a handgun. And then
He's
like when
so
it came
far.
to like Beast Wars, when they turned into Beast Wars, which is my favorite part, is that like the Autobots are now the Maximals, and they have like, you know, mammals, there's birds, there's cats, there's primates, rhinos and stuff, and then like the Predacons, or the new Decepticons, are like bugs and dinosaurs and shit. So like they always kind of like try to stay with like a theme sort of.
Fact checker, can you look up if Danimals has ever done a crossover with Transformers? I have questions.
Also in the Decepticons, we get introduced to Shockwave, who's really cool in this.
You know
he has a
what's
big
so
driller
fucking
worm from
funny?
Cybertron that he tamed, and the big worm is fucking cool.
The big worm is cool. I described it as it looked like Dune and Doc Ock had a child. Like the big Dune worm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
got the vibe, and then it just has extra arms. So you're like, all right, add Doc Ock in there, and we're here. On my way here, I passed a trailer that said Shockwave on it and was going to send you a picture and be like, look, it's a fucking Transformer. Because I just thought it was it entertained me. Because I realized I said on the
Good
way
story.
here, and hold on.
10 out of 10.
Hold on. Restart. I didn't see this. I was like on the way here. Sorry, I got so sidetracked by my brain being like, you didn't see this on the way here. I saw that trailer and was going to send you a picture and be like, it's some fucking Decepticon name. And then watched the film and was like, oh my God, it's literally a Decepticon named Shockwave. Sorry, I got distracted by my own timeline being fucked up in my brain.
Did you watch this movie just today?
No, I rewatched it today.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was
usually
like,
did
hold
too.
the fucking phone.
Other designs I wanted to talk about were Laserbeak, which is one of Soundwave's drones.
Laserbeak's pretty dope.
He's got a cool design and a zany personality because every one of these fucking movies needs a little spicy guy for the Decepticons. There's one point where he turns into a mini Bumblebee, but pink, to trick a human child. I don't know why it was here, but it was stupid and weird.
It was so strange.
I'm like, okay, they could have just not had that scene in there at all. I would not have even noticed or thought of it.
The whole thing is that
I could not tell you why it was there or what it was about.
Well, it just doesn't make any fucking sense because the government's trying to hide the presence of them. So it's not even like, oh, like they're the good guys. So of course this little kid would be okay with this particular
leveling cities in every fucking movie. There's no hiding them anymore.
Yeah, but like in theory, that's what they're trying to do. So this doesn't make any sense.
So I also wanted to talk about Megatron. I think I like Megatron's design in this one the most.
He's do too.
Yeah, he's like battle damaged and he's like a rusty looking tractor truck thing, but also in robot mode, he looks more balanced in this. Like every time I see Megatron in the first two movies, I think he has big, bulky, long legs and like a big ass torso and his arms are kind of small. And like, I don't know, the general like ratio just wasn't sparking joy for me. But like in this one, like he feels like leveled out. Like he feels like
he's got
it feels
a better
balanced.
Vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Think it was funny.
I don't think you needed the head scarf though. I thought
I wrote Megatron's razzle dazzle at the bottom of this list because I was like, why the fuck is he wearing a head scarf in the desert? You're a robot.
Because it's the desert. Because it's the desert and it's
he's got to keep the wind out of his fucking exposed electronics.
Yeah, maybe there's some thought there. Like Michael Bay's like, no, this makes sense. And
my thought was
if he explained it to me at a party after we had some like shots of Fireball, I'd be like, no, I get it.
My thought
but right
was
now I'm like, no, it's stupid.
Like maybe he's worried about getting sand in his giant face gash, and that would kind of make sense.
I thought you were gonna say vagina.
His giant
sand
vagina.
In his giant Decepticon vagina.
Dude, speaking of sand and vaginas, I'm finally playing Baldur's Gate.
Here we go, every time.
I'm finally playing Baldur's Gate, and for my first romance...
finally?
Because I got it forever ago, and I never actually... Like, I did the beach, and that was it. So I'm finally, like, actually playing it, and I'm in Act 3. But I'm romancing Shart, which is, I think, so fucking funny.
Shadowheart.
That is her shortened name. But the fucking romance scene is banging on a beach, and I was like, why in the holy hell would you ever be like, let's dip in the water and then roll in the sand and fuck? That sounds
I've been saying that. I've been saying that my whole life, my whole adult life. After post-sex, I'm like, I know how sex works, and no to sand. No to sand all over.
No, I get Anakin Skywalker's feelings about sand. No.
Yeah.
Hard pass. But anyway, I thought it was funny because I was like, what fucking adult animated this? And was like, that's a good idea. This is what people want. Sandy vaginas.
I don't know what cat keeps jumping behind me, but I'm about to hit it.
Why did
back to the so you picked Shadowheart. Shadowheart is a good pick. I think I did Shadowheart my first time, but like after I met Karlach, I'm like, God, I should have gone with Karlach.
Here's my issue. I didn't necessarily intend to commit to romancing Shadowheart. I thought I had time to play the field longer. And then what I did is I found Karlach like 5 fucking seconds before going into Act 2 because I completed literally everything that I could possibly do.
Yeah, it happens. I
so
did
I was
it
like,
too.
I need to find all these companions first next time so I can talk to all of you.
I think Karlach needs to be found earlier. I think that's just how it should be.
No, that'll be like the first thing that I do next time because I do really love Karlach and I would like to know what her romance arc is like.
Everybody does. Karlach is great.
She's a G, dude. She's so fun.
I mean, it's so good because she can't... she can't touch people because
Yeah.
she burns everything she touches. So like the whole thing is like it's like a budding romance. Fuck Transformers.
Literally
But it's like a budding
slow burn.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, and she's like, oh, we can't touch. So like you work on fixing the infernal engine in her chest that makes her go. And until to the point where like you're able to hug. And it's such a big fucking scene.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's get back to Transformers. There's also Q, who's Doc Brown as a Transformer. It's a weird choice.
Why does he have hair?
Rachel, this is not the episode to begin asking that question.
No, because the other ones have like mechanical hair, and I can get behind that. I still think it's a little weird and odd, but like you have
the little weird one
dangles.
also has hair.
Oh fuck, you're right. He does have hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't understand.
I mean, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to know. It's provocative.
As for the humans, pretty half decent. The sweat is almost non-existent.
Oh my
Rachel.
god, yeah, there was, you know what's so funny? There was like no sweat to the point where I was like, this is actually a scene where you should probably have sweat, and you're dry.
They were sweaty at the very end after a big fucking war that leveled a third city in this fucking series, so
yeah.
I hope they're not trying to keep secret anymore. But like, they were sweaty then, I'm like, finally. But like, I think there's also, I noticed there's also way less lens flares, so I think there might be a correlation
they did
of like lens flares are cooking the people.
Slowly dropping lens flare during the second one. But it was a gradual process. The sweat followed after.
Yeah, I mean, also changes from the last two is like the government is like still involved, but it doesn't feel like military propaganda.
Yeah.
But you know what sticks around? The like car commercial shots. I don't think we've mentioned this before, but like there's always like a scene where like all the Autobots are like driving down a highway, and like the fidelity of it and like just the way that it's set is like, this is a car commercial. This is 100% a car commercial. Like I'm about to hear Like a Rock any second now.
You know what was interesting to me is there was multiple car commercial scenes, but there was also I feel like fewer scenes where there were actually like car stunts being performed. Which I think is why it felt less Fast and the Furious.
Well, also because like there is like the highway scene, which is again dope. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually kind of having like I reached that part. And I'm like, I think I'm having fun. But like that scene, like they were cars still doing car things, but they like were half transformed, so they had guns.
Yeah, that was
like,
pretty dope.
This is dope. Now to talk about the other parts that aren't the top three things. First thing I wanted to talk about was Cybertron, quote unquote, being peaceful. Because in the beginning, that's how they explained it.
That's a crock of shit.
They do that every movie. We keep being told about how peaceful Cybertron is, but we've never once seen it. It's always shown as being mid-war.
A war-riddled fucking horrible empire that's destroying parts of the universe for their sons.
The species that lives on Cybertron all have built-in guns. That's not peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think this is a case of mistranslation of like, what the fuck is your definition of peaceful? Because it's certainly not what this is.
Yeah, because even like we used to be peaceful, and it's just like, no, you weren't. Because we just talked about how in the second movie, with the original fucking Prime guys and the Fallen, who are like millions and millions of years old, they were fighting too.
Yeah. Like
where does
full stop. There's 3 movies that tell us that you are not peaceful people. This has been a new development for you guys. The concept of maybe not wanting to fight.
We were once peaceful before we evolved and gained sentience and decided to fight each other.
Yeah. Back when I was but a clock radio.
Next up, I also wanted to talk about, I didn't notice this the first time I watched it, but the second time I was like, oh, is Wheelie spoiling the movie? So in the beginning, we see Wheelie. That's that little tiny RC truck that's voiced by SpongeBob, Tom Kenny. But he's watching Star Trek on TV, and he says, oh, this is the one where Spock goes nuts.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until the second time. But Spock, played by Leonard Nimoy, voices Sentinel Prime, who goes nuts and betrays the Autobots, is the main plot point of this movie. It's the kind of little joke I enjoy.
Yeah, no, that's
Like, it's like,
also
it's fun. That's
a
fun.
really good little addition because it's like it's not giving anything away, but it's also giving everything away at the same time, and that's quality.
But also, anybody who goes into this movie knowing anybody at Transformers knows that, oh, Sentinel Prime's probably going to be a bad guy. He's voiced by Leonard Nimoy, and there's that Star Trek joke. It's fun. It's fun. Everybody, it's fun.
Are you having fun yet? It's fun.
I'm having fun. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the character Carly. I think Carly sucks.
Tell me more.
I don't know the real reason why Megan Fox was replaced in this movie, and I mostly don't care. But Jason Statham's not wife is a choice I believe was based entirely on her looks. Though I don't think she's attractive at all myself. I called her, I put in there, quote unquote, conventionally photogenic.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is that she looks good in photographs or in stills, but once you see her in mid-movement, something seems off. Like her face is kind of puffy or bubbly. I don't want to say it's from plastic surgery because I want to be like, plastic surgery, always plastic surgery. But it's like uncanny valley for models. I don't know what's happening with her face. But besides her looks, because it's ultimately unimportant. Hey, Megan Fox is fired from Transformers franchise ahead of the third film. This followed a 2009 interview where she described director Michael Bay as a nightmare to work for. Yeah, and compared to his on-set behavior to Adolf Hitler. Okay, the remark reportedly prompted executive producer Steven Spielberg to demand her immediate dismissal. There's a series of events if you want them. I don't. I'm sure it's more interesting than this. And honestly, after we finish this, we could do something on that. But
for now, we'll continue on our valiant journey.
Outside of the fucking putting down a woman for how she looks, because totally classy like that, is her character is. I think she's fucking boring. Like, she's just Michaela, but less useful. It's just eye candy for Sam to be insecure over. If this character were still like just Michaela, the story wouldn't be any different.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it would probably make more sense thematically. Like, the only thing she does is point out to Megatron that he's a cuck, which convinces him to attack Sentinel Prime. That's the only thing.
That scene would have been more fun if it was Michaela too. Because it's like, we've now been fighting for 3 years. Because it doesn't really, like, thematically, it doesn't really make sense for her to instigate Megatron and him not to immediately kill her.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a 3-year relationship with this person that you've been battling back and forth with, it makes a little bit more sense for you to be like, I'm going to wait.
Real quick, Brittany, can you come check on Waffles? I don't want to disturb this, but she's like whining. I don't know what's happening. I'm worried something actually is happening in the backyard or something now.
What's going on?
Oh, what's that? Oh, wood? Is that our wood pile?
Have you seen that Whitest Kids You Know skit where, like, Trevor comes into the baby crying? He's just like, "What's up, baby?" Nothing? Absolutely nothing? It's my legitimately. I'll link it after
is
this.
Is that what's
my
actively
favorite.
happening right now?
That is actively what's happening. Waffles is like I said, she's like jumping up and down and going to each window and like whining, and I don't know why, but neither does Brittany or Waffles actually.
Waffles too is unaware of what she is doing.
All I know is I'd want her to stop.
Yeah, that's valid. I feel like
open the window, just let her out. Well, she'll come back like in an hour.
She'll circle.
I agree that like Michaela has history with Megatron. It would make more sense for her to be like, look, babe, we've been through some
Bob.
Shit, and
what's up, handsome?
you're clearly getting bitched out here.
You're clearly getting cucked. Which would have been
I've
a great
lost so much
line.
respect for you at this point to where I'm coming up to you being like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, sweet baby. Yeah. No, it would have worked so much better. I think she's... it's shitty because I think she has more lines in this film than Michaela's character really ever had. So it's like, okay, like you guys started trying? I don't know. And then everything else fucking blew. And it was just like, what was the point of her whole backstory if you weren't going to do anything with it?
Yeah, because like he met her at the White House because she was like an ambassador for the UK or something. But then she's just like working for McDreamy
Yeah.
as I think just eye candy.
And no part of being an ambassador ever comes up again. It's literally just the plot point of them meeting and her being like, I have more money than you.
That's why like thematically it makes more sense if it's Michaela. Like, oh, Michaela, they didn't need to meet. They were already together. And then she got a job working for Patrick Dempsey. And also that whole thing's weird where like she just started working there and there's like all these photos of all these races he's been in with her.
Any sense.
And I'm like, okay.
Again, the timeline you're working with here, I'm like, what fucking wormhole did everybody drop into? Because I don't understand what's happening.
So the next point I wanted to talk about is probably the thing that makes me mad, I guess. I was going to say the maddest, but I don't know where I'm at right now emotionally. What are we doing? Oh, right. So Sam's a bitch in this movie. Sam is rewarded for being an
every
insecure.
movie.
But in this, every turn in this movie, he's such a whiny, petty bitch. He's like, not just towards his live-in girlfriend, but also the Autobots in current situation. Me.
Yeah. The amount of screaming that he does is really obnoxious.
Yeah, Sam sucks in this one the most, I think, but I also think it's the last time we ever see him. So, whatever.
Thank goodness.
Next thing up I wanted to talk about was there's a lot of big names in this movie. Everyone's quirky, and I think a little too quirky. So the cast in this movie is fucking stacked. We have Leonard Nimoy, John Malkovich, of all things, Frances McDormand, Alan Tudyk, Ken Jeong, Patrick Dempsey. It's wild that these actors saw the last movie.
And we're like, I want to be a
maybe
part
two.
of this.
And they're like, yeah, sign me up. And I think it improved the movie like a bit. I don't know. But like, I do think that in a normal movie that's like, here's a movie. I made this movie. It's in theaters and you go see it. Yum, popcorn. In a normal movie, there's usually just like the one sort of like over quirky, zany character.
Yeah, this one was like, well, what if we had 7?
Well, let's do John Malkovich, Ken Jeong, and Alan Tudyk are all batshit zany characters to the point where like it makes this movie seem like a parody. Like,
yeah, it does.
They got Buzz fucking Aldrin to be in this and agree that the Transformers were on the moon first. Like,
really didn't help the whole fake the moon landing shit. They're like, see, he's an actor.
I do think I love. I do think I love Frances McDormand's character. I think she worked the best. Like, but she is such an incredible, talented actress that like, whatever she came and brought to this movie was only gonna work.
Yeah, it was only ever gonna succeed.
This movie was also straight up violence. I don't know.
Yeah, they added blood spray for the Autobots.
I know. They also added blood spray for the humans. There's a lot of death in this. Decepticons are vaporizing humans by the hundreds. Just like splat. Whole buildings get collapsed. Why the building were full of working humans during a war zone is beyond me, but I'm not a movie writer, so I don't know.
Well, because the war zone suddenly appeared.
Should we take the day off today? Nah. But like they're still in there mid battle though. Like they didn't evacuate at all, even a little bit.
Who's to say?
I did want to talk about the scene I laughed out loud at was where fucking the Doc Brown character Q is like, B, I think they're gonna kill us, and it's fucking brutal. And then they shoot him in the face. It's so harrowing and good. I'm like, what? So when did this become Dunkirk?
The reason I asked you about like the lore comparison with OG Transformers is because after Q gets absolutely fucking assassinated in front of Bumblebee says something like, I'm gonna miss you so much, my like old time friend that I've known my whole life. And you're like, where the fuck did this come from?
So I don't I'm not a Transformers expert. Like I watched the original when I was young and I'm like, ooh, yay. I like Beast Wars more, but like I know of the Transformers and certain key characters and events. I'm not going to be here pretending I know who Q is. I don't. But like Q is supposed to be, isn't Q the character from James Bond? Like he makes weapons and gadgets and shit. Like Q could be a Transformer too. I don't know, but like this felt like a mishmash of a couple different characters. I'm sure somebody out there is just like, he was my favorite Transformer, and then they ruined him in the movie. And I feel you, bud.
You're like, me too. Different guy, but me too.
Yeah.
Did you catch
There's
that?
also, sorry?
Did you catch that the Autobots just straight up fucking kill people now, too? Like, after Optimus made a whole shit fit about how they don't kill, like, they really try not to kill humans, it opens with Bumblebee rocketing fucking bombs at a group of people.
I mean, that's like Batman killing, though, where, like, Batman has a tank that shoots missiles and, like, he throws people off buildings, but, like, he's not killing them.
He's not directly killing them.
Yeah, it's
the
it's
shrapnel killed them, not me.
Yeah, it's the Batman fallacy. But Ironhide dies in this. He's been in every movie except for now. Sentinel shoots him with like a rust gun and like he fucking disintegrates. It's incredible. Like you could tell like we're putting this character down and he's not coming back ever. Watch this. Like that's how it felt.
Contrary to everybody else dying and coming back 1,300 times, Ironhide will not be on that list.
Starscream gets his head blown up with a grenade to his eye. It's kind of comical. Like the whole scene, he's just like, my fucking eye, like for like 10 minutes.
It's so fucking, I'm like, why was that scene so goddamn long? That was also the scene that had the shitty CGI Sam that looked terrible.
Also, Optimus straight capping Sentinel cold blood and then tearing Megatron's head off was so cool. Like, but you know Megatron's gonna come back. He's Megatron, he'll come back. Probably as Galvatron because that happened in the originals, but I don't know. The violence is so ridiculous that it wraps back around to being funny.
Yeah, no, truly.
Next thing I wanted to talk about was these ones are actually very short too. Is like the main plot to every movie is just more secrets on secrets. I don't have a lot to say here. That's the main complaint. Like,
yeah,
like everything is just like
we have
the
more
plot
secrets.
of the last movie is that, but then like there's more secrets piled on top of that. Like now the moon landing is faked or some shit. I don't know.
But the people who worked in Sector 7 didn't know that, so it's like, what the fuck?
Also, this is the least racist movie in the series so far.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that? I'm like, oh my
I
god,
think
this is
the
the
only thing
least
racist in this-
caricatures.
The only thing racist in this movie is the Latin hate, but that's been in every movie so far. Like Michael Bay is like racist, but like I think he actually has hateful racism towards the Latin community.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was this movie versus Avengers. Now, this movie came out 1 year before the first Avengers film. And I feel like there's a lot of similarities between this and Avengers. In some ways, I think this was the vegetable so that Avengers can run.
This was
but
the
like,
vegetable.
So like, yeah, why did this one succeed? Why did one succeed while the other sucked baloney through a pixie stick?
I mean,
like,
to be fair, this one also succeeded.
Objectively, I guess so.
Of money, Gamage.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's like I watched this movie I think before Avengers came out, and then I think I saw Avengers and forgot about this movie because I went back and watched this movie for this episode, and I was just like, there's a lot of Avengers shit in here, but this
100%.
predates it.
Yeah.
Like the flying ships look exactly like the Leviathans.
Mm-hmm.
The main character being thrown out of a building only to fly back up in a cool way and like make comments. There's a portal machine MacGuffin. I don't know. On that, is Cybertron gone for good? Because speaking of portal machine MacGuffin,
because it got sucked into a black hole.
Well, okay, so it's coming through a wormhole. Cybertron is being teleported into Earth's orbit and sort of comes through. But then the portal machine blows up, and then what came through kind of implodes. What's the verdict here?
I thought so I didn't remember what happened at the end of this. I was really hoping they were going to go with like when the portal closes and you end up with half in one place and half in another place, because I thought that would be interesting.
And then we got to learn to adjust to the new world. Yeah.
Yeah, or just have this like crazy new thing in our skyline, but. Nah, it's just going to turn into a reverse wormhole and get sucked back the other way. Like, did it get fucked up in that process? I don't know. Who's to say? Seems like yes, but who knows?
So I also wanted to talk about the Matrix of Leadership. The Matrix of Leadership is in the original Transformers. Optimus has, or at least it was given to him by Sam, who actually earned it. Whatever, ignoring that. He has the Matrix of Leadership, which the movie even says is the one thing that can revive their people. Like the Lennox, I think the army guy, he's like, the Matrix of Leadership can revive their people.
So Ironhide's fine.
No, That's why they showed him like he's rust now. He's gone. Like they're
done.
like he's disintegrated. He's dust. Then again, the dust turned into the matrix of leadership. I don't know.
so-
I don't know. But it does make death kind of trivial before
Immensely.
with the like death was already kind of trivial with like the limitless Allspark cube, which ended up being used to kill Megatron, which shattered it down to small finite shards that later used to revive Megatron. I don't know, but we have the Matrix of Leadership, also known as the Matrix of Creation, or simply the Matrix, which means Optimus could theoretically just revive everyone all the time. So originally in the OG stuff, the Matrix was a conduit of power of like that could bring new Transformers to life or give its wielder access to the Transformer afterlife to communicate with deceased leaders, as it's a conduit to Primus, the creator god of Transformers.
Damn,
it also
that's
powers
a way
up the
cooler lore.
It is, yeah, because like there's actually more stuff happening. I mean, we'll get there later, but it also powers up the wielder. So the movie just mashed around lore like Play-Doh and tore colorless blobs off and declared it orange. Fuck you.
The lore is so much fucking cooler than what they did.
It's kind of deep. The last thing I wanted to talk about on my thing, at least, is Linkin Park.
Oh my god.
We've already pointed out
I like that it
how prevalent.
auto-corrected to LinkedIn Park.
Oh, I
Do you
put
think they're
down
on
Linkin
LinkedIn?
Park. But I've already pointed out how prevalent Linkin Park music is in these movies, and I don't know
It's
why.
incessant.
Like Linkin Park has no business being in these movies, other than the Venn diagram of fans having like just an enormous overlap. That said, the song in this one is just subtle enough that I wouldn't have noticed if the subtitles didn't tell me.
Yeah, this was the least Linkin Parky of the three movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. What a film! What a fucking film!
Very much so. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, we can move on to the musical things. What have you been listening to this week, Gamage?
So Madonna came out with a new album, and I really liked it. It's a solid return to form, yet updated for more modern sounds. I don't think this album was able to fill the Madonna-sized hole in my heart. I don't think that's the album's fault. I simply didn't have a Madonna-sized hole. Dubbed the techno-pop princess, Sam Quealy is an Australian in Paris releasing magical music that made me forget about Madonna. Same kind of vibes at times, but more disco sound, like kind of like a somewhere between Madonna and Lady Gaga is what I'll say.
Okay.
She released Jawbreaker back in January, and I've been sitting on it this whole time, and it's still, to this day, one of my favorite albums of this year.
Oh, fuck
I love
yeah.
this album so much more than Madonna's Confession 2, and I know it's never going to get the same attention as Madonna's Confession 2. Like, I had trouble picking out my favorites. I think number one goes to Strings of Terror. I see people argue between Madonna and Lady Gaga all the time, but I think both camps can meet in the middle at this song. It's got such a good electronic disco sound. In fact, so earlier this year, you recommended Meek, Meek.
Yeah.
And I listened to I Want Love, But Not That Much. And when it got to the line violins, which seemingly summons violins in the song, I thought about how that it doesn't happen a lot, but it's weird that it happened in 2 songs this year, and I have 2 nickels, because in Strings of Terror, it's constantly doing the same, like it just says violin attack and like violins start playing. It's so good. I love this song. The music video, also very good. Very Lady Gaga and or Madonna vibes. I'm also going to go with London Town Unless I Change It by Wednesday, as it sounds the most like a Madonna song. Either this or Girls Night. Make a choice, Gamage. Well, I didn't, I guess. Both are very Madonna. I also By My Side featuring Marlon Magny. I don't know what that name is, but it sounds like it should be on the radio. It's very good. It's groovy, catchy. I love this whole album, really. It's definitely just to play the whole thing. I will say I checked out her previous album, and I didn't love it nearly as much, so I hope that this direction is just like what she's doing now. Definitely my dark horse of the year so far.
I am honestly a little bit bummed that I'm hearing about this post-road trip, because I would have loved to deep dive this bitch in the car.
Well, that's good.
But I will be doing it outside of the car, I suppose. because that all sounds really good.
What have you been listening to?
I am going to recommend this week Goldie Boutier, I think is how you say the last part. It's spelled Boutilier. But she has an interesting sound. So she has a kind of an interesting musical journey where in the early years she started very like electronic pop dance and then moved on to like a house dance and continued the electronic vibes. But currently under the name Goldie Boutier, she like switched from playing music under different names to her actual name and transitioned into this like it's like vintage guitar sort of. I think it's what people generally call like outlaw country. But it also has tones of like noir pop going on at the same time.
Huh.
And like it definitely brings in some like 70s glam rock vibes at different points. But I actually found her through Orville Peck because she was touring with him, I think, like a couple years ago or something like that. And so I had heard some of her music a while ago, and then I did the whole like shuffling Orville Peck's music, and she popped back up. But she just released a song, I think like a couple weeks ago, called How to Be a Lover. So I'm going to recommend How to Be a Lover as well as Cowboy Gangster Politician, which is, I think, her most popular song, and Good Old Days. But she very much is not like female version of Orville Peck because I think that's too high of an accolade, but they work well side by side.
Huh. Yeah,
And
the name sounds very familiar.
I imagine you maybe have run into her. You'll have to let me know if
like
you
on the
listen
street,
to
like,
it.
oh,
yeah.
hey.
You're like, oh, that bitch, yes.
Yeah,
her.
I remember her.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been listening to this week.
Well, that was our podcast,
yeah.
and I hate Transformers.
This particular universe of Transformers, and I'm not thrilled that it keeps going. But I haven't seen those ones, so that's at least
like,
new and fun
We're
and
not even
zesty,
halfway.
which is fucking crazy. Well, thank you for listening. If you also are hoping to take a cyanide pill before you have to watch the next film or hear about it, please like and subscribe on whatever your most favorite is podcasting places. If you want us to talk about a thing, you can email us at whtpah@gmail.com. That's what @gmail.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at We Have That Podcast at Home. All one big long word, or you can follow us on Blue Sky at WHTPAH. That's what on Blue Sky. And there's no fucking spinning wheel. It is just the spinning wheel of time as we progress into more Transformers. I've been a patchwork.
4,
yeah, whatever it's called.
The wheel on Optimus Prime spins.
Yeah. I've been a patchwork quilt Rachel.
And I've been the other one that I don't remember. Was there another one?
There wasn't another
goodbye.
one. And this has been We Have That Podcast.